In collaboration with the National Youth Service Corps, Stanificent Global Technologies Limited organized a free CCTV and solar camera installation training for NYSC members. Let's take a look at the highlights of this empowering event.
Just as the Bible says, many are called, but few are chosen. And you are among the chosen one that will benefit from this one-day free workshop training. This kind of training is an opportunity for us to learn a new skill and add to what we have already learned before. This kind of opportunity doesn't come every day. It is usually once in a while. And I want to thank you for, despite your busy schedule, finding out time to be here this morning. And I know that at the end of the day, we'll have a very tangible thing to go back home with. And maybe when you will be discussing it with your other colleagues, they will be blaming themselves for not making themselves available for this training. On behalf of the CEO of Stanificent Global Technology Limited, I want to welcome you to Stanificent Global Technology Limited. Thank you, and you're welcome.
We'll be teaching you guys how to set up this camera. This is a wireless solar camera, though we'll get to that. We'll do a little bit introduction. So we'll be talking on CCTV camera installation. Introduction. CCTV. This is an acronym. I don't know if I spelled it well. Acronym, meaning closed circuit television. This is the full meaning of CCTV, closed circuit television. It implies that the setup is supposed to be in a restricted place, closed, not towards the public, whereby what the view is what restricted to just what somebody. So there's what we call the control room. The control room is where the setup stays, and there's supposed to be somebody. But Nigeria, we just do a CCTV, nobody watches it. When something happens, you'll now be talking of playing back. But in some advanced country, there's always somebody mounting. If you have watched all this film, you will see people mounting the camera, watching movements at an instant, not just to play back. They are seeing what is happening. They are calling the other security. Somebody is so and so, close somebody, block that person, block this, block that. So it's supposed to be what in a restricted place, whereby what there is somebody mounting the camera, viewing what the outcome of what the camera. So in this CCTV, we have various types. We have the IP. We have the wired IP. We have the analog. Yeah, we have the analog. We have the wireless. Okay, let's say wired and wireless. Under this wired, you have the IP wired, you have the analog. Under this wireless, we have the IP, we have the SIM enabled, we have the Wi-Fi enabled. So what do we mean by wireless? When we say wireless,
is this IP analog? This is the same IP.
This is another type of camera, an IP camera. We have an IP camera, we have an analog camera. Then we have an IP wireless camera, we have a SIM enabled wireless camera, we have a Wi-Fi enabled wireless camera. Now, this is an example of a SIM enabled wireless camera. When we say wireless, we mean that there is no need for what connections, there is no need for drawing of wires. It just stand alone. It's just stand alone. For example, This is our wired camera. How do you usually know a wired camera? A wired camera comes with two connectors, the power side and the video side. So this is where you draw your wire. This is a wired camera. You need this wire for this to work. So you need to draw this wire, connect it to these connectors and the camera. Wireless does not have this connector where you need to what?
You said the connector are what?
This is the BNC connector and the power connector.
Yes.
That is for wired analog camera. This is an analog camera. It comes with a power port and a BNC port. So because of time, we'll just do a kind of what? Basics on this. So when you are now fully convinced that you need to know all about this, you do a registration with us. Then we'll take you through all you need to know about this, whereby you become an installer of yourself. You quote for a job and you will deliver the job and make your profit. So for the wired camera, just as I showed you, it needs what? Wire. And this wire, we call it what? A coaxial what? Cable. The wire called coaxial cable. And it comes in various types. We have what? The Cat6. This is a Cat6 cable. We have the RJ59 with power. We have the RJ58 with power. We also have them like this without power. The RJ59 without power and the RJ58 without power. But the advantage of the with power, let me show you. This is a coaxial RJ59 cable with power. This is the power line and this is the video line. So if it's just the video line that is without power, it only comes with just this, without this. So the advantage of this, you are drawing just this to power a camera. But without the one without power, you need to draw this that is only the video line and now look for a cable that will now serve as what? The power line. So it's better you use this so that you just draw just one cable that will what? Power one of the camera. And just you can keep it there. There's no need. So is it clear? So I mentioned a Cat6. This is a Cat6 cable. Cat6 is used both for IP camera installation and analog. You can use it for both IP and analog. But this coaxial, you only use it for analog camera installation. So just as I told you, the wired camera comes with what? A BNC port and a what? Power port. So to get what your installation what done properly, you need a cable, a coaxial cable, a BNC connector and a power connector, which after you do your what installation on the cable, you can what it can match your what your wired camera. So after I've done my what connection here, this is the BNC port of the camera, this is the BNC port of what the cable. The two matches together. It supplies what the video from what the DVR, from the camera to the DVR, while this supplies the power to the camera. So we'll show you how you do this connection. We'll show you how to do what these BNC connections too. So there are some needed accessories or materials. Please, I need something to wipe the board. Are you guys done writing? So just as we said, the wireless camera, we call it a standalone because there's no needed accessory. You can see, for example, this camera is just for me to set it up on the app and mount. Finish. That's why it's called a wireless. But for this wired, I need some other accessories or material. Please, can I wipe this?
Yes.
So assuming we are dealing on what? A wired camera. Of course, we talked about what the camera. Then we talked about what the cable. Then there's what we call what the machine, the DVR. The DVR is just like your DVD, whereby you plug your cassette to play on your what, your television. This is a DVR. This is where also what your cables what connect to. Apart from what the camera, it also connects to what this. So just as you saw me connect one side to what the camera, one other side goes to what the DVR. So while this other side collects power, from your socket, so your power source can be a 2 amps adapter. Your power source can come from a 2 amps adapter. Okay. Analog camera. We have the IP, but we don't have the IP currently here. Then that's a wireless what solar camera, because it has what some wireless camera does not come with solar, but this one comes with what solar. So it's a wireless solar camera. This is the panel. So it can be on for 24 hours because what is solar enabled. Why the one that is without solar, it only powers with what when there is light. So this setup also only works when there is light, because it's not solar enabled, except what the customer has an inverter system in his house that can keep it for what 24 hours. So just as I said, you can either power it with a 2 amps adapter or with what we call a power box. This is what we call what a power box. This power box has various ports. This has 4 ports, 1 2 3 4. It means that I can power 4 cameras conveniently. Then also this DVR, just as I said, it has also a port, and that port signifies how many cameras can work on it. This is a 4-channel DVR. So this you need, if you are going for a 4-channel DVR, you need a 4-port what power box to match what the 4 camera. It does not mean that what if you want something below that, maybe you want to go for a 2 or a 3 camera, you now look for 3 or no. There's a specific number of it. Like DVRs comes in 4, 8, 16, 32. So if you are going for 3, you can definitely use it, but you are going to occupy 3 ports of it. So if you are going for something above 4, it means you go for something higher than 4, which is 8. So even if you are going for a 5 camera installation, you go for 8-channel DVR. Then you only make use of what 5 ports. Then the 3 will be for what later. Maybe the customer might now decide, okay, later I want to still add some place. I have seen some blind spots. You can still have. So it's always good for you to make reservation. Maybe the customer is going for what 5, maybe let's say 4 cameras. You can what quote for 8-channel DVR for him. So even if he wants to add later, there will not be need of what saying this is already a waste. Because if you fill up this port and the customer wants additional camera later, it's as if this is already a waste. Did you get my logic?
Yes.
So maybe because you have gone to the site and you have seen that this place requires at least 4 camera. Explain to the customer, yes, there's a machine that can carry just that 4, but I will encourage you go for something higher than 4, which is 8, so that maybe later you see that okay, there's a place that is what requires the camera. There will not be need to what leave this as a waste and buy another one. It's just for us to just buy the camera and the cable and connect to it. So is it very clear?
Yes.
We have talked about camera, we have talked about cables, and I said in cable we have different types of cable. We have the Cat6, we have the RJ59 with power, which is generally called the coaxial what cable. Then with DVR, we have talked about the DVR having what different ports that signifies what the number of camera that you want to install in the particular place. So there's what we call the hard drive. So just as we all know, hard drives in laptops for what storage of what information, memory card in our phone for storage of information. That is how it is in what camera setup. You need the hard drive for what? Recording of what? Events when you are not what? Around. So that when you come back, it's not required for you to mount your camera 24 hours, or okay, the extra cost of hiring somebody that will just mount only the camera. So with the help of the hard drive, you can come back, play a particular date, a particular time of event, and what? See what happens. So this is what an example of the hard drive. This is a hard drive. We have it in what? The flat type, like the ones in the what? System, or this for desktop, and that is what we usually use for what? CCTV. You can still use the flat one, but it must have this port. It must have this, because this is where what? You plug this wire to. This is what senses the hard drive, these two cords here. So are we progressing? Okay, so we need a monitor or a display screen. Let's say a display screen. So this display screen can come is either a monitor or a television, but I always prefer a television because it has more high definition quality than what? A monitor. You can easily what? Picture what? The image in what? Displayed on the what? The television than what? That of the monitor. You hardly see a monitor that is what? As sharp as a what? Television. So okay, then there's what we call what? The online setup. For us to what? Network what? The camera, we can also network, just as you can set this to what? Monitor on your phone, you can also network this wired camera to what? Work on your phone. You need with the help of what we call the router, because there is no what? Availability of what? A SIM port on the DVR. So this is where you put your SIM port. So linking it with this, it takes this DVR online so that you can watch it online. But this, there's a direct SIM. You can plug your SIM direct to it. That's why it goes online. A router. So this is the basics. Yes.
This router, is it like you want to post make it come online internet?
Exactly. Just like you can connect this to your phone to this router.
Okay.
Just hold it in your hand.
Okay, I said this router. Is it that you want to make it come online via internet?
Exactly. That is just why you need the router, for you to make it to come online via internet. Just like your phone can only come online when your data is on. Even when there is SIM card and network in your phone, without owning your data, you cannot go online. So that is what this does. So even when you don't have SIM card or data in your phone, you can put the SIM card here and connect to this, and you can browse with your phone. Even when there's no SIM card in your phone, you can connect to the network of this and browse. So there are some places when you open your Wi-Fi, you can see they'll tell you that this person's hotspot is on and this. So it's either the company using a router or somebody on his or her hotspot. That is why you can be able to see the open network. So are we progressing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have talked about what? The camera. Then what we still need to note about this camera is that we have, note, we are talking about wired camera. A wired camera installation, sorry. So we have the indoor and the outdoor type. So what I displayed to you is what? The outdoor. We have what? The indoor. This is the indoor. You can see they come in different shape. You can easily what? Picture. The outdoor what? Is like a bullet. That's why we call it either a bullet camera or an outdoor camera. Sorry, this is it. This is the outdoor. It's like a bullet. It shoots out. While the indoor is dome, like a dome shape. That's why we can also call it a dome camera. So now, where do you use your outdoor? Where do you use your indoor? Outdoors are made for what? Wide for like kind of distant coverage, when you need somewhere to cover a distance, and we know that mostly outside is distance, so that's why we call it outdoor. We use it outside to cover distance, while we use the indoor to cover what, a kind of short distance but a kind of wider range. You understand? Something that is kind of wide but short. But this, you need something that is narrow but what, far. That does not mean, we call this indoor does not mean that you cannot use this one inside. We call this indoor does not mean you cannot use it outside. But one thing again you need to know, this has more stronger water resistance than this. So if there's a kind of barricade up outside that you can still use this, yes, but provided there's no direct water to it, though it's still water resistant, but this has more stronger water resistance. And then this one, maybe, so let's say for a corridor like hotels, that you know their corridors are very, very far, you can still use this so that you can cover that narrow straight distance.
So you're talking about the wide coverage.
Yes.
So the indoor has
wider coverage but shorter distance. This one have narrow but far away distance.
Okay.
Thank you.
What about do they have anything like objective lens or something?
Yeah, that is their lens capability that makes this one to understand. That is the lens they use in it. That's all. So that's the basics we can go on what, this wired camera. So on the normal installation proper, we'll show you how you can do what, the setup of what, this wired camera, how you can what, connect what, your wire, we call this the connectors, the BNC and the power connector. How to do the connection, how you can pass your cable, how you can mount your camera, how you can fix your hard drive to the camera, and what, the settings. Each of, just as we have different brands we still have in various things, like you say this one is LG, this one is Hisense, this we still have different brands in what, camera. We have the Dahua, we have the High Vision, we have the Optimus, and each of them has their different setup. But if you're able to get the basic of one, you can be able to maneuver the other. So but we'll still teach you how both the Dahua, the High Vision, and the Optimus works. So because of we don't have much time and we have a lot of things to cover, we need to what, just brief you on what's on ground. So I believe you have gotten the basics about what, CCTV camera installation for what, wired. So because we're going to what, wireless. So is there any question on this? Is there anything that's kind of difficult on this? The camera, the cable, the DVR, the hard drive, the display, the router, and the connector. Let me just put the connector. I've told you about the connectors. And I told you we have the BNC, which is for the what, video line. The video line, and the power connector. Power connector for the what, power line. For the power line. With that will be what, okay, let's talk about some advantages of what, CCTV camera. So we already know CCTV camera can protect employee. So in terms of the awareness of CCTV camera, it what drives what, thefts and all this kind of what, burglars and what all these bad gangs. Somebody, when they have bad intention and they see a CCTV camera, they will move, they will maintain. It helps to prevent crime. Just as we know, most places where CCTV camera is, people don't always want to, because they know that what, this might what, capture my what, image. Helps police to what, for investigation. Maybe the crime has happened, you can watch, if you have watched all these modern films, you see them asking for the footage of what, that particular hotel, to play back and see what transpired in that what, scenario. Then CCTV camera can help prevent theft, just as I said earlier. CCTV camera can help bring about what employee satisfaction. For example, something happened, there's nobody to hold. Playing back the video, you can what finally see who did this, and what the others will be what vindicated, and those that were not among them will be happy. But imagine you not knowing what happened. Everybody will be a suspect. And for example, you that does not know anything that happens and they are accusing you, you will not be happy. So CCTV can help settle disputes. Just as I said, there's a misunderstanding, nobody wants to agree on doing so and so. Playing back the footage, you will see who was the culprit. CCTV camera is convenient for keeping of records. Just as I said, with your hard drive, every information for every day is stored in the hard drive. You can always refer back to it and say, okay, what happened so day, what happened so day. It helps to protect valuables, your goods. So comparing the amount you use in stocking your office or your shop to what you are using to do a CCTV camera, you know the price difference is much. For monitoring movement and behavior of pupils and staff, you know, in schools usually you see CCTV because the head always wants to know how the pupils and staff interact, to know what the teachers are dishing out to the children. It helps surveillance anywhere in the world. Just as I told you, with this you can make the camera go online. Even somebody that is not in Nigeria can be in anywhere abroad and be watching his or her investment here in Nigeria. Okay, so that's that for CCTV wire camera. So for the wireless, because of time, you can ask your question. I'm listening.
Is there any preventable disadvantage that we can look at?
A disadvantage of CCTV camera.
Is there anything that we can say?
Well, the truth is they always say what has advantage has disadvantage. You understand? So I can't really place a disadvantage of CCTV camera. I can't really place a disadvantage of CCTV camera. But if there's any that you feel, you can still bring up so we can deliberate on it.
Okay, what can you say about the power, like we talked about one that has water resistance, more water resistance, and the aspects whereby their maintenance, the aspect of maintenance, their parts.
Okay, so yeah, that's where you can say maybe it is not that too cost friendly. It's not cost friendly. CCTV, to do CCTV is not cost friendly. It requires money. But just as I said, comparing what you stocked in your shop and the amount you are using, just for example now, car tracker installation in your car. Okay, for example, you can do a car tracker for 60,000. You bought a car of 5 million. You can see the difference. Then okay, let's say you can do a CCTV setup, just like I said, for this with 200,000 naira. You can have this compared to like 10 million naira you used in stocking up your shop. So yes, it's not that cost friendly, but it's is commensurate, is considerable compared to the amount you used in stocking your shop. So definitely, and also we still have some environmental factor. That's why you need to prevent a lot of things when during your installation. You need a voltage guard, because definitely when there's a fluctuation of current, it might affect your system, and it will mean you changing everything. Then also thunder. That's why it's also good, but we Nigerians, we always neglect thunder arrestors in our various houses. But there's an installation we went to do certain place, and later after some months he called us. None of them is showing. We checked, all the cameras were bad. What happened? He said thunder. I said that's why thunder arrestor is very good. So he has to change all the cameras back and do a thunder arrestor. But even if there's no thunder arrestor, let there be a voltage guard protecting the system.
Major disadvantage that is widely noticed is about privacy. you know. Like some times, if you are accustomed with Big Brother Nigeria, you'll find out that sometimes you begin to see some clips of what is supposed to be a private event. You know, it will be made public because the CCTV camera was installed in a place that it should not have been installed. It's not like you installing a CCTV camera in the bathroom or somewhere that the CCTV camera, maybe the private area does not have a cover, and the CCTV camera mounted in a close distance will be capturing what is happening inside. So you begin to see some clips that is meant for you and you alone. Those things you think it is private will now be made public. That is one of the major disadvantage of CCTV camera, and that is why it is advised that you, even if you want to mount a CCTV camera, you must need an advice and guidance of a specialist, an engineer, that will tell you, okay, this place will be okay. Because left for me, the owner of the house, I will tell you to mount it everywhere so that I can be seen, but it will still work against me in some area. But a specialist, an engineer that knows about it will be able to tell me that you can't mount a CCTV camera in your bedroom. But what of if it is not you that is baiting, it is your wife that is baiting? What then happen? So privacy is one of the disadvantages. Thank you.
That aspect is covered from what a specialist. You can't tell me now as a specialist to come and put camera in your bedroom and I will agree on that. It's not made possible. CCTV cameras we always put into consideration what privacy. You can't have a hotel and tell me to put cameras in each of the room. It's not done that way. Even there are people who are in government officials who go in various organizations to do inspections. They will even fine you for that, because you are invading on people's privacy. You understand? So, but in terms of an organization where you are the boss, definitely you should be able to know what your staffs are doing. So putting cameras in to monitor your staff, there's no issue on that. Understand?
Okay, like if I should understand well, is there something like ethics and code of conduct in this business? So
exactly.
You don't want to, there are some bridges. Okay.
Yes, exactly. There are some kind of code of conduct that you are not supposed to breach, especially on that privacy, just as he said. Understand? You as an installer, you should be able to advise somebody who contacted you that this place is not okay to put camera. Understand? So that is just a kind of just normal. You should know that this place, a bedroom, shouldn't have a camera, even though it is your choice, but it's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be. So there was a customer and installed camera, though it was not even in his bedroom, it was in his parlor and some other lobbies. So, and he was please, I wanted to do a playback of this, can you show me? Understand? Though I've already taught him, but customer, when you teach them, after teaching them, they will forget. So he now later remember there was a kind of party that happened there. He said, no, don't worry. Why? Because he doesn't want me to see what played in that party. And so that is why it's still very important that you teach your customers all what is needed in how to play back and ensure that they understand it. Because you trying to play it back, now it's kind of invading on their privacy. Understand? So, but regardless, that camera was not installed in his room. It's still a normal place that you can install your camera. Thank you. So on the aspect of the wireless, we'll be talking on the solar 4G enabled, 4G SIM enabled as a case study. So this camera, just as I told you guys, has a solar that gives it the ability to stay on for a very long time. So accessories, a SIM card, a memory card, Memory card. That's just all we need. Every other thing is already what? With the camera. When you buy the camera comes with the solar panel. So you just add what? The camera itself. So for us that have not been able to download, so I want you to to download the app now. So we do the setup. This is the one we are going to do a full complete tutorial on. So if you are done writing, just go to your Play Store and type ubox. We have various type of 4G SIM enabled camera. We have the one that works with V380. I told you about the ubox. We have the one that works with V380. We have the one that works with ICE. We have the one that works with ICE Pro. So we have them. So usually they comes with manual. So if you're already in the line of an installer or a technical somebody, when you go through the manual, you can always be able to decode the setup. So if you check this now, it has a manual. If you check that with the 380, you have the manual. That's how you know the app that it works with and how to set it up in the app. So but I will be teaching you this, the ubox, which is what this particular one works with. So maybe when you are now with us, we'll teach you on how you register that of the V380, the ICE and the ICE Pro, because we all have the cameras in the office. But we are not just an installer, we also a reseller and a major distributor. So please let's hurry because we have just few hours. Yes, just type ubox because we have just one last thing to treat before we round up, and we have already exceeded 1 hour. So just
This.
no, the one down. Yes. Okay, the network is slow. Okay, we can just, if he's able to download it, you can collect the app from him later, and you can. I just want us to download it, log in an account, view the camera, then I'll show you all the features of the camera. Then we are done. That shouldn't take us up to 20 minutes. The network is still very slow. Okay, that means let me just log in mine. So I'll just explain it to you so you can do yes later. Okay, let's go this way. This is the app. Ubox. This is the app, Ubox. So immediately you finish downloading it, it opens like this. So for you to create an account, you click on register now. So you can be writing the procedure. After downloading, click on register now. So we click on register now. Let's see what next. So it asks for an email. Input the customer's email or your email, depending on who you want to create the account for. So now you can start marketing this camera. You can start marketing this camera, and when you have the job, you come to us, you buy the camera and the needed accessory, just as I said, the memory card and the SIM card, and you do the setup, the account creation for the customer, add your camera and go and mount. You make your cool small money. So you input the customer email or your email, a working email. So I don't know whose email are we using. Do you have a working email?
Yes.
Okay. Can you type that email here? So after you input an email, it will tell you to what? Agree. This email has already been used anyway. Account already exists because my email has already been used. So if any of you have downloaded or you want me to use your account, okay, open, then input your email. There's no much time. Click on register now. So input your email.
So I should register again.
You click on agree. You saw that I agree.
Okay.
Yes, then you click on register. So it's going to ask you to input a password. So you ask the customer to give you a password he or she wants. It shouldn't be the email, his email. Because customer, when you ask them, you tell them I need an email and password, they'll be asking, what do you want to use my email and my email password for? Tell them that it is not your email password I need. It is just what a random password you can use for just the app. But I need your email, but I don't need your email password, just another different password for just the app. So you are not imputing your email password there. You are using just what a random email that you want to be using to access the app. So it should be something you will remember and not forget, and you always tell the customer
The code first.
when you are impute the password. You can put the password. Your phone is not hanging.
Okay.
So you repeat what the password. So if you are following the process, we did what we clicked on register now, after which we input a password and we agree. There's a box, a circle there where you agree, and you click on register. It brings out another interface where it asks you for what your password. After the password, there's a verification code down where you what verify exactly, ensure you are writing exactly what you saw in that code. If it's a capital letter, you input the capital. If it's a small letter, input. If you do that successfully, there will be a congratulation that you have successfully registered your account. So the step is very clear, right? So your next is to you set up your camera. The camera comes with a battery pack. This is where you fix your battery. So if I should use this, you will see the battery.
So I give camera and microphone.
It's very important, camera and microphone. You can still give it any other option you want to give it, but that camera and microphone is very important. So this is the battery. So the battery is already inside here, inside the camera. You move it, place it inside, then you cover. So when you open the app, you will see add camera. So
I will go out.
you can now go out and go back to the camera. So this camera now, because I've already added it on my phone. You can see the camera, you can see yourself. So what you just need to do is to click on add camera. If you have downloaded the app, click on add camera. You can see it down here.
Add the device.
Add device is the same thing. Then it's going to prompt what? Just follow the option there. Okay, allow. Then you're going to say what? Add 4G. Allow while using the stuff. Up. So what's the right up there? You see set up Wi-Fi. This is not a Wi-Fi camera. Then set up a 4G. Anyone that uses direct SIM is a 4G. While anyone that uses router is a Wi-Fi. So because it uses direct SIM is a 4G. So you select. They'll ask you to put the SIM card in the camera. Then you click on that box there. Yes. Next. No, your phone is always hanging.
Scan the QR code on the camera to connect to your
Okay,
phone.
so this is where you scan this QR code here.
Okay.
So when you scan, you can either scan it from here or the body of the camera here, this code. So it can't work on yours because it's already on my own phone. I taught you that day, unless you reset the camera. So not have time for that. It's just for what you only need in this process is just to scan this camera and it's going to appear on your phone. Now just because of time, that's why it's already on my phone. I want to show you the functions of this camera. This camera now has the ability to hear what you are saying. Hello. So it has two words, two voice words, whereby I can talk to the camera from my phone and I can hear what you near the camera is saying. Okay. So it has a two-way audio. It has a two-way audio. You can see the camera is recording what I'm saying. It has a two-way audio. So I'm saying something near the camera is coming out from my phone. So assuming I'm out here just with my phone and you guys are saying something, I can be hearing it from the phone. Understand? So and I can also speak from the phone and you'll be hearing me from the camera. Hello. Hello. So I can also speak from the phone and you'll be hearing me from the camera. So that's the two-way audio, and that is you activate it from these two icons here. This to speak out, to hear from the camera. This is to talk to the camera. You activate it from these two icons. This to talk to the camera, this to hear from the camera. You can also off it when it's line. When there is this line, means you have offed it. I've offed it now. If I want to on it, I click on it. It's on now. This to off. There's no white on this microphone. To on it, when you touch it, there is a white stuff. You can see the white stuff there. This to off. There's no. It's off. It's on. So now there's a remote on this app that controls this camera. This remote here. So I can rotate this camera from my phone.
Okay.
So you can see it's a robot. And there's no light to power this camera because it's working on this. So this one is very easy. So what next do? You mount. This goes here. And you can choose where you want to place it. This is called an outdoor camera. It's an outdoor camera, but when you place it outside, the sun ray will now meet this. So you can tie it on a kind of pole. So I've done a lot of installations on that, which I will show you. This is a solar camera mounted on a pole. This is a very clear view of it. So there's no, just for you to set up, tie it to the pole and mount the pole. Cash out your money and go. So you can even start posting this picture. You can go online, see a lot of pictures about it, market it, you get a job, you buy from us, you go install, and anything that comes out is yours. So just as we said, it requires what? A memory card and what? A SIM card. So this is the slot for it. You can see the SIM slot, and this is the memory card slot.
Okay.
So it also has what? The ability to record at night because it has a night light.
The light automatically comes on
When it's at night. Yes, it automatically comes on. But you can set it to what? Not to come on. You can off. Some people will say they don't want it to be visible. So even when the light is not on, it's still recording, just that the video will be black and white. You understand? So with that, we have been able to cover the solar camera installation. So for you guys, we are dishing out two package because of your time frame with NYSC. So you can maybe later, after you are done, you can come and what enroll on what our full package, whereby you can be free to what choose any other courses. But for now, we are giving you guys the privilege to learn all about CCTV camera and what the electric fence what installation, which is the accessories here, and we'll still do a kind of basics on that electric fence. So we'll still do that. That's, I believe you have seen something like this on the fence of people. So we'll still explain how this is also done. So we are also giving you the privilege to learn them with us. So we are done with CCTV camera.